Hello everyone and welcome to episode 52 of the WMMA 5 series here on the channel, as it is now our final show of 2005. I cannot believe it, we're gonna be 6 years into this goddamn thing, and it's been a blast the whole way, as what a card we have for the Shockwave show. I think it's gonna be fucking awesome. I think it's, as far as like big, mega, I wouldn't say dream. I guess it is a dream fight if fucking Big Nog and Vandalay Silva, but it should be a barn burner for sure. As before we get to all that, we got the mail, of course. We have 23 pieces of mail to go through, as Chad Saunders left AKA. Tetsuya Kawajiri has joined Peresta. Shinyoki's left Abiani Combat Club. Randy Couture. So I was gonna try to sign him and try to keep him with Pride FC, even though he was 1-4 in Pride, or 1-3 in Pride rather. As a he still, he won his last fight. He'll be great for what would have been. He would have been great for the heavyweight Grand Prix, but alas, that's not gonna happen. He's in Pride FC, or he's in UFC now. Should do all right for himself. I mean, I think as for other heavyweights, he could take on fucking Simi Chalette. I can't wait for him to come back. That's definitely been the one that I wish didn't go away. It was just Semi Chalette. I love that man. Sad times when he was gone. But Randy Couture is gone. He's signed with UFC. Alex Stiebling, we extended him, and Kevin Randleman, even though Kevin Randleman just lost. He's Kevin Randleman. As Vitor Belfort has joined Who's Valley Tudo. So Sean Shirk failed his drug test. Was waiting on someone to fail one. I think he's the first one ever to fail one on the save so far. Sean Shirk, obviously, man, he's the muscle shark for a reason. As a PAD violation, as he'll probably be gone, I think, for 6 months. I don't know why I just backed out of that when we can just look over here. 10 months, actually. So he's pretty much gone for the rest of 2006 as well. He'll be back in October for that. So that's bad things for when you test positive for PEDs. As old Sean Shirk will not be with us for basically all of 2006. We extended our deal with our announcer. We signed Ron Faircloth. So Ron Faircloth, we technically lost him for a couple of months because he signed with KSW. KSW has been giving people crazy amount of contracts as far as like, look at that. He's signed a $73,000 contract with KSW. KSW is they have the money to throw around. We probably have to actually sign to an exclusive deal once that time comes. I don't think we can do it yet. Is why we just had to, not interested in signing one. So we're just gonna have to wait for another 6 months before we can re-sign them exclusively. So there's that. As we extend our announcer again, extended Glover Teixeira, as Ronaldo Souza has joined Budokan Luta Libre, and we signed Josh Thompson, who is going to be in our lightweight division. He's 11-3. He's the 10th lightweight in the world. He's sadly going to be in the world of BJ Penn. He just lost to Carl Uno at split decision of UFC 75. So he's coming in off a loss. He's lost to Joe Stevenson, and he's lost to Jens Bova, but he's beaten Yves Edwards, and as far as like big names over there, but he's had some good and great fights all around through WEC and UFC. So I think it should do great for us. Josh Thompson, and we signed Carl Uno. That's huge. Carl Uno is probably, as far as for the lightweights now, he's fifth worldwide, but I feel like for us, it's either going to be either Takanori Gomi or Carl Uno as far as the second best lightweight in our division behind BJ Penn. So that lightweight division is getting bigger and bigger, so that's fun to see. We're extended Kenny Florian, Frankie Edgar, Shinyaoki, and Rafael Dos Anjos, who I don't think he's had maybe one fight before us yet. He locked out, or no, he hasn't even had a fight for us. And that was back in September we signed him. We signed him a year ago, and he has not had a fight. That's really sad on our part, as we got to get, once the TV starts coming around, I think we had that started for 2007 is what the plan is. So once that happens, a lot more people are going to have a lot more fights. That's going to help us out. As finally that scandal, the Chuck Liddell sex tape scandal has finally been forgotten, so that's nice. And we extended Little Nog. Masvidal and Flavio Luis Mora got injured during their training, but they should be fine for their fights. And all right, without further ado, now we can start the show. As my guys, we have two title fights going on. The first of two is of course our main event, as it is Antonio Big Nog Rodrigo Nogueira taking on the Axe Murderer Vandalay Silva, as Nogueira is making his 8th defense now of this Pride Heavyweight title. If he's successful, of course, it's going to be the record. He's going to break his own record. Two of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Nogueira's first, Silva is 11th. This is the 10th time that Vanderlei Silva's main evented a Pride event, the 8th for Big Nog. Nogueira hasn't finished has finished 3 of his last 5 opponents, and fucking Vanderlei Silva hasn't won since 2003. Which is crazy to think about, as Nogueira's going to enjoy a significant weight advantage. 6-1 on the broadcast staff picks as Chris W., the lone backer of Vanderlei Silva. So this mega fight here, Big Nog, Vanderlei Silva, two of the best fighters we've ever had, two of the best champions we've ever had. Obviously, Vanderlei more of the middleweight division, stepping up for this one-time dream fight against Big Nog. This is not an open weight fight. This is going to be for the heavyweight title, of course, as you saw. This is going to be huge, as Vanderlei Silva, and he has not won since August of 2003 against Alex Stiebling. He lost to Chuck Liddell, got knocked out, and he got knocked out in 40 seconds by Dan Henderson in American Bushido 6. Now he's here and going to be fighting the biggest fight of his career against Big Nog, who has been just on a tear and a half. Both 29 years old, too. I mean, his last loss, September of 2001 against Josh Barnett, and he has taken on just about everybody in the heavyweight division. He's beaten Ice Cold Igor. He's beaten Josh Barnett. He's avenged that loss. He beat Pete Williams. He's actually beaten Igor twice. He's beaten Fedor twice. He's beaten Andrei Arlovski. I mean, if there's anybody who's anybody, he's beaten them in the heavyweight division. Weirdly enough, his only losses were to Josh Barnett, to Randy Couture. That was in rings back in July of 2000. And that's it. So he's only lost to 2 people, and that one person, he avenged his loss to Josh Barnett, and really, he would have probably killed Randy Couture if he fought him again. So that wasn't a big deal, but at least, you know, it sucked because the Fedor fight the first time around, he got screwed and did Fedor Emelianenko in Brazil, in my opinion. Then they had the rematch, tapped him out by armbar. He's knocked out Andrei Arlovski with a knee. Now he's looking to take on Vanderlei Silva, which I wouldn't count on Vanderlei Silva, the axe murderer. He, granted, he has had his tough goes as of late, his last 2 fights, but before then, he was just a murdering machine. He beat Dan Henderson before. He's beaten Frank Shamrock. He's beaten Alex Stiebling, which is still like a big deal, but not a huge deal. But I think as far as what he can do as a heavyweight champion, if that's the case, I think it'll be a fucking problem if he does beat Big Nog. That's a hell of a fight. I cannot wait to see that. As Wanda Baraka, the crusher Wanda Baraka, taking on the prodigy BJ Penn, as this is now his first defense for the lightweight titles. BJ Penn, Wanda Baraka, has been a part of UFC for probably a couple of years now, I want to say. Yeah, just 2 to be exact. It was September of 2004 was his first fight. He lost to Joe Stevenson. He beat Joaquim Hansen, and he lost to Joe Hurley. It may be undeserved, but I had to have something be this co-main event. And I did want to do the trilogy of Matt Hughes and Tetsuji Kato, just because I felt like that would have been a little bit too much of that. So I wanted to, at least pump the brakes on that. Having BJ Penn defend his title against Wanda Baraka, who is the 4th ranked lightweight in Pride FC, as BJ Penn has won 3 of his last 5 fights to a decision. First time they fought, this is going to be Wanda Baraka's Pride debut. Betting odds have BJ Penn as a large margin favorite, though. As the next fight, it's going to be Superman, Dennis Hallman, taking on Matt Serra. Matt Serra has finished 3 of his last 5 opponents. Both world-ranked middleweights, which is wild, as they are obviously welterweights. Dennis Hallman is 5th, and Matt Serra is 18th. First time they have fought, Dennis Hallman's going to enjoy a significant weight advantage, and the betting lines have Dennis Hallman as a big favorite as well. Obviously, Dennis Hallman will probably be looking to see if he can take on Tetsuji Kato at one of the next events if he does beat Matt Serra. Same thing if Matt Serra wins. Basically, a number 1 contendership fight for the welterweight title. As Lee Lightning Murray taking on Nate the Great Marcotte. This is a great lightweight bout if I've ever seen one. I mean, this is an up-and-coming Lee Murray who's been on a tear, taking on Nate the Great Marcotte, who's established lightweight, or established middleweight, rather, as both light heavyweights were fighting in a middleweight division. Obviously, we don't have one, as Lee Murray's finished 3 of his last 5 opponents. Both are world-ranked light heavyweights. Marcotte's 11th, Lee Murray's 23rd. Marcotte trains at AMC Pinkerton, which Murray has an overall record of 1-0 against other members of that team. Murray trains at the Pit, which Marcotte has an overall record of 1-1 against other members of that team. First time they have fought, Marcotte's going to enjoy a 5-inch reach advantage, as the Blurcat staff have it 5-2, as Carl and Jim, the two backers for Lead Lightning Murray. But that should be a hell of a contest. It's the White Shark, Andrei Simonov, taking on Flavio Luis Mora, two men that were, as far as the middleweight kind of short list of guys wanting to bring in, they were on the list from the beginning. It took a long time to get here, as far as Andrei Simonov was a part of rings for probably a good solid 2 years. Yeah, and just 03 and 04. And with Flavio Luis Mora, somewhat the same thing. I felt like he was only in ring, 02 to 04. So yeah, just around the same time. They just never crossed paths, weirdly enough, in rings. And now here in Pride FC, they finally crossed paths. As you see there, Flavio Luis Mora is on a 2-fight losing streak going into this fight, and I already forgot what Andrei Simonov's record was. It's 16 and 6. He's 1-1. He just lost to Vitor Belfort, which that's no thing to be sour about. Vitor Belfort's a bad motherfucker. He's beaten some big names though, as well. Valentino Varim, Evan Tanner, and also Brawl was probably the biggest name he's beaten. But he's also lost to Amar Solioff and Matt Zero. Amar Solioff is the rings lightweight champion, I believe. Middleweight champion. That's right. That makes sense that they're. And he's taking on Andrei Avlasky way back in 2000. That's just why that fight even happened. But both fighters are needing a win here, so that should. I always kind of like that when both men are desperate for that win, and you battle it out to see who is the better man of the two. As Simonov is the 13th ranked middleweight in Pride, Flavio Luis Mora is 21st. First time they fought, of course, and will enjoy a significant weight advantage. Betting lines have Simonov as a big favorite to win this 7-zip on Blurcat staff picks. George Rush St. Pierre taking on Sean the Punisher Pearson. Kind of crazy George St. Pierre's kind of this low on the card, but this is a much different George St. Pierre than we've kind of, one of the all-time greats that we've known now in the real world here in this mod. However, he's had a bit of a difficult time as he's 12-2. I mean, it's nothing to be sour about, but he's not. He's lost to Dennis Hallman back at Critical Countdown during the welterweight Grand Prix. He beat Jason Von Flue. He's waited almost a year he battled last at Shockwave 2004. He's back for Shockwave 2005. Hopefully we can get him some more fights under his belt, because he is George St. Pierre. And then Sean the Punisher Pearson, who is having, I think he's 13-2 as well. It's pretty close. I mean, just a 1-fight difference between the two. He's on a 2-fight winning streak. He's beat Jake Shears and Diego Sanchez. He lost also Dennis Allman. Two guys who've lost to Dennis Allman. As I think it's going to be a great fight. He's beaten Mike Quick-Swick before. Sean Pearson's going to be a problem. And there's especially two Canadians as well. That's fun. As Pearson trains at Minnesota Martial Arts Academy. St. Pierre has a record of 0-1 against other members of that team. St. Pierre is the 7th ranked welterweight in Pride. Pearson's 10th. They're both won 3 of the last 5 fights by decision, so it's probably going to go the distance. First time they have fought, Pearson's going to have St. Pierre rather is going to have a 6-inch reach advantage. And the Blurcat staff's picks have him 6-1 as Sam S. as the lone backer for Sean Pearson. It's Joe Lauzon taking on Daisuke Nakamura. This is the debut of Joe Lauzon. Joe Lauzon, one of my favorites from the Ultimate Fighter. Just is incredible. One of my favorites from the get-go. Like, I saw him on that first episode. I was like, this guy's fucking awesome. And his style was so kind of, with his submissions, I'm a favor of guys that can just win by submissions. It's awesome. It's a hard task, and it's to be a submission expert, but I felt like he was kind of one of the early ones that were released on the Ultimate Fighter. It was like, wow, this guy's fucking awesome. As that season was awesome too that he was on. But Daisuke Nakamura and Joe Lauzon, Nakamura submitted 4 of his last 5 opponents. First time they have fought. Pride debut, of course, for Joe Lauzon. And it's 3-4 Blurcat staff pick, so Nakamura having the slight edge over Joe Lauzon. I think, though, Joe Lauzon's going to have Daisuke Nakamura's number. We'll see. As Dung Stungun Hume taking on Paul Simtex Daly, as this is going to be a welterweight fight, as is both first time they have fought. That's it. That's the only statistics we get from this. Paul Daly 5-2 on the Blurcat staff picks. Paul Daly's 1-0. He beat Dan Hardy. I remember that at Critical Countdown 2004. Now he's back here to take on Dung Sung-Kun, who is 2-0. 1-0 in Pride. He beat Kaita Nakamura. As for this fight, that should be, two kind of untested men, still very early on in their careers. Really anything can happen. As 2-0, 1-0. Someone's going to take their first loss of their career, though. -200 for Dung Hoon Kim, as -150 for Paul Daly. Two men from complete different parts of the world. Seoul, South Korea. Nottingham, England. 5'9", 183. 6 foot 183. Both young as hell, 23, 24. Let's get this fight on the road here. Mario Yamasaki's our referee. Our judges. Round 1 begins. They touch gloves, which is completely on the offers there, rather. But it's completely ignored by Paul Daly, as Daly throws a quick punch but doesn't hit it. Kim seizes that chance and grabs Daly into a clinch. Kim's looking to muscle Daly back up against the ropes. He can't do it though, as Daly defended it well. Using his wrestling skills, Kim is trying to push Daly up against the ropes. He achieves it, pinning Daly to the ropes. Looking for a judo throw, he gets it. The superb outside leg trip. Pounds away with rights, but doesn't really do a great deal of damage. Blocks Daly trying to transition the guard. There's a few weak-looking punches, decides his next move. Blocks attempt to pull guard. As he's pounding away with shots now, as right hands after right hands, as Paul Daly's eating some sickening heavy shots to the face there. As Mario Yamasaki pulling Dong-Hyun Kim off of him, and that's the fight, right? That TKO win for Dong-Hyun Kim, as what a fucking role he is. He is going to be a problem in this welterweight division if he keeps it up like that, as Paul Simtex Daly, though, sadly, he just, once he got that outside leg trip on him, it was over for him. As the kickboxer taken to the ground, that is tough. As Dong-Hyun Kim thanks his sponsors and his fans, as he challenges George St. Pierre. Jesus, as that would definitely be a tough challenge, but he's interested in trying it. Maybe not just yet. I mean, give it time, son. You just had 3 fights under your belt. Let's relax. Let's pump the brakes on that. It's Joe Lauzon taking on Daisuke Nakamura. It's Joe Lauzon 4-0. Daisuke Nakamura 6-4, 21 years old, from East Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Tokyo, Japan. Daisuke Nakamura 5'10", 161, 5'11", 161. Catch wrestling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So this will probably be a ground affair. Both minus 110 on the betting lines. So our referee Yuji Shimada. Judges at ringside. There's a war from the crowd as Nakamura enters. He's from around here. They are underway. They touch gloves. Meet in the center. There's a left jab. It does connect with the right hand. Scores a left jab. It has a right hand taken on the glove. So there's a punch, but Nakamura is equal to it. Gets a hold of Lauzon, not having to have taken even one shot coming in. He's got complete control of the clinch. Looking for that takedown. He's got it. Now he's on top of a turtle up Joe Lauzon. Pounding away with rights. Nothing significant landing. He's quick to get back to his feet, although Nakamura does have back control. Looking to drag him right back down. He does so. It's with ease, too. So it looks like, even though their betting lines are minus 110 each, it's clear that Daisuke Nakamura has the superior skill, as Lauzon lands face first, and Nakamura takes a hold of his back. Looking for that rear naked choke. Doesn't get it, though. Blocks Lauzon as he tries to roll. Can't get that body triangle hooked in. Again, he can't get him off him. Looking to get both hooks in now. Looking for the rear naked choke. And again, Lauzon stops it. Struggling against Nakamura, but he cannot get himself free. Looking for it again. Again, Lauzon, he just keeps on fighting at this Joe Lauzon here. He's trying to break free. But they are too tight of the hook. So as pounds away with rights, but fails to land anything significant. Unloads some right hands, so that's do a great deal of damage. Pounds away with rights, but fails to land anything significant. Pounds away with punches, but a little minimal damage there. Pounding away, Joe Lauzon is now troubled by the strikes. Struggling against Nakamura, but cannot get himself free of the hooks. Tries to pound on Lauzon, but none of the blows have any degree of power. Keeps both hooks despite Lauzon trying to pull him apart. This has just been Daisuke Nakamura having him on it. Just keeping him on with back control, and it's not going to be enough for Joe Lauzon to even win this round at this point. Just 9 minutes of this. Keeps the hooks in, despite Lauzon trying to pull him apart. Again, just the constant struggle, trying to pull him apart, but Lauzon calmly just dealing with the punches now, and that's the end of the round. Obviously, all Daisuke Nakamura landing 65 shots to Joe Lauzon's 1. He was 2 for 2 on takedowns. Yeah, I mean, Joe Lauzon at this point is going to have to finish the fight to win it. There's just no way he's going to win off a unanimous decision or anything like that. That's wasn't the most exciting round we've ever seen, but hopefully things will pick up in the next one. I highly doubt it. I'm sure it's going to be rinse and repeat for Daisuke Nakamura. There's a 1-2, but fails to land from Joe Lauzon. Just grabbing into the clinch right away. Looking for the takedown, but Joe Lauzon blocks it. Now he's trying to wrestle Zoe in dominant position. Now he's trying to muscle him up against the ropes. He doesn't manage it, though. Nakamura defended it well. He's looking to muscle Nakamura back up against the ropes. He doesn't let himself be driven back. Still muscling up against the ropes. He ends up backed up against the ropes now. Goes for a knee to the thigh, but Nakamura pulls the clinch tighter to block it. Drives a knee to the thigh area. There's a vicious foot stomp. There's a hard foot stomp. There's a knee strike to the inside of his own knee there, as Lauzon hits a knee strike to the thigh. It isn't pretty, but Lauzon is wearing Nakamura down by keeping him trapped against the ropes, carrying a lot of weight on him. They remain there for the next 60 seconds or so, remain in close grappling, exchanging occasional short punches as they restart him back in the center. Lauzon's starting to be a little heavier now. There's a few gulps of breath protruding from Nakamura as he's given the first hint they're starting to tire a touch. As he fails to find home his jab, scores the right cross as Lauzon, minute left now, steps in looking on leash. He's going to have to knock him out at this point to win this round. And not only win the round, win the fight, but looked like he was going to shoot, but Lauzon simply took the initial. There's a 1-2 that fails to land. Closing the distance, obviously looking to strike. There's a 1-2, but Nakamura avoids both of them. There's a takedown attempt. He sprawls well, preventing the takedown that moves out of the range. Man, if Joe Lauzon could have had that first round, would have been great, but we just could not get it. And Daisuke Nakamura is going to get the win, 7-4. Joe Lauzon's going to be 4-1 now. So yeah, that's tough. At least an exciting second round to bring us back. That's tough. Tough one for Joe Lauzon. As he praises toughness, does Daisuke Nakamura, as he praises his team at Abiani Combat Club and his various sponsors and the fans who came out to support him. So now we're on to the main card, and the opener of the main card, that's fucking nuts. It's George St. Pierre taking on Sean, the Punisher Pearson. 12-2, 13-2, 5-10, 183, 6-1, 183. As Quebec, Canada for George St. Pierre, Ontario, Canada for Sean Pearson. Mixed martial arts. It's just these all across the board is George St. Pierre. Wrestling background for Sean Pearson. No team for George St. Pierre. Minnesota Martial Arts Academy for Sean Pearson. Minus 150, plus 110. Close on the betting lines. We'll see what happens here as Mario Yamasaki's our referee, our judges. Fight begins. Exchange of strikes doesn't go anywhere, though. They come together and start wrestling in an over-under clinch position. As St. Pierre is the aggressor in the clinch. He's trying to push Pearson so his back is up against the ropes. He can't do it, though. He ends up being out-wrestled. Tries to wrestle St. Pierre backwards up against the ropes. Ends up back against the ropes again. As he just cannot break control of what Sean Pearson has over him. They remain there for the next minute or so, hitting each other with short punches. As he tries to... But St. Pierre is out of trouble and turns it so now Pearson's up against the ropes. He's got him pinned down, hard foot stomp. As he got the underhooks now. As there's a Greco-Roman slam. What a takedown. Sean Pearson gives up his back off the takedown. Now he's in huge trouble now. As St. Pierre's got both hooks in. Looking for the rear naked choke. Doesn't allow it. Looking for that rear naked choke again. He gets it this time, though. As he gets flattened out by that rear naked choke, he has to attack George St. Pierre. Making quick work of Sean Pearson. As what a win for George St. Pierre. 13-2 now is George St. Pierre. 13-3 is Sean Pearson. As he name checks all of his sponsors, he thanks all of his fans who down supporting him. He says it was a tough fight, gives a share of respect to Sean Pearson. There's no doubt that George St. Pierre benefits from being interviewed. He knows the value of building a name. As next fight, it's the White Shark, Andre Semenov taking on Flavio Luis Mora. This could have been way down the card. This actually could have been the opener, but that's alright. As two men from two complete opposite sides of the world, St. Petersburg, Russia, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. 28 years old, 29 years old, 5'11", 205 for Semenov, 190 for Flavio Luis Mora, 16-6, 15-5, Luta Livre, Sambo, Team of Istian, Shoot the Box, minus 530, plus 420, blaze it for Flavio Luis Mora, as this should be pretty, for the White Shark, Andre Semenov should be an easy one. We'll see if that is the case. As Mario Yamasaki's our referee, our ringside judges, round one begins, they touch gloves. He can't hit the step left jab, he hits the nice straight right hand. As Mora is able to grab Semenov, though, looking for the trip takedown, he can't get it, though, blocks it. Now he takes control of the grapple, trying to wrestle Mora up against the ropes. He does so, now he's got control of that. There's a hard foot stomp. Knee strike to the side of the ribs. He gets caught with the knee to the side of the stomach, now there's Mora. There's another sharp stomp on the foot. A third, just keeps on fucking with these foot stomps. And there's a knee strike to the thigh, knee strike just above the hip. He is just going to get destroyed by these knees now. And they're having been stuck there for a while without any progress being made. Referee breaks it up. There's a takedown attempt for Moore. He gets it, though. Now Semenov is on his back. He pulls guard. As he's 1 for 2 on takedowns. He throws a few right hands. He takes a moment playing ahead. He pulls Moore down in close. And he hits a couple of short punches to the side of the head. Trying to pass guard, advancing his position. To now he passes to half guard. Passes half guard, looking to get side control. He passes half guard, but he can't control it, though. Semenov starts to scramble. As the scramble results in Semenov underneath more, north-south. There's a knee strike to the side of the head. Blocks attempt to escape. There's some elbows to the body, albeit with not much power behind him. Blocks attempt to escape. Pounds away with elbows to the stomach, but can't get the power behind him. Tries to get out from under the north-south position, but doesn't budge more, though. That's a knee strike to the side of the head. Blocks Siminoff, he tries to scramble. There's another knee strike to the side of the head. Remains firmly in place. Some more strikes to the ribs, a few short elbows. Out of him, though. As, again, Morris doing a great job keeping control of this north-south. Now he's trying to shift to to side control. Jesus Christ. As he fires off a handful of punches. But they aren't thrown with any great force. Trying to transition the guard, but can't manage it. Looking for an armbar. Defends himself well to Siminoff. Tries to pull guard on Moore. Doesn't get anywhere with the attempt. Looking to get mount. He goes for mount, but Siminoff starts to scramble. And again, it results in Siminoff underneath Moore in the north-south position. There's another knee strike to the side of the head to end the first round. What a back-and-forth first round that was. That's, I think Flavio might have won that round, weirdly enough. I know with the strikes, it's close still, 12 to 23. It's got the one takedown, but I just felt like Flavio had control more of the round, but it was close, though. Very, very close. It's damn near 50-50. He's going to come down to the second round to see who wins this. As a final round, start dragging up for position. Siminoff aggressively gets the dominant position. Gets caught with a knee strike to the body as they grapple, trying to muscle up against the ropes. He got him pinned again. He's pressed up against him. He simply cannot break control if Siminoff has over him. Remain there for the next 60 seconds as he just keeps on trying to smother him, but Morrow against the ropes, wrestles free and circles back to the center. Now Siminoff's starting to breathe a little heavier now. They come together in a clinch. Siminoff seems to have the advantage. Using his wrestling skills, Siminoff is trying to push Moore against the ropes. He does so, and now has Moore pinned to the ropes. He's pressed up against the ropes, and he's held there. The next 60 seconds sees them doing very little other than occasional short punches to the body. As showing how good he can be at controlling his opponent, Siminoff keeps Moore stuck against the ropes. They dirty box each other at that range in the next 60 seconds or so. It's a pretty, it isn't a pretty tactic, but Siminoff is wearing Moore down by keeping him trapped up against the ropes and forcing him to carry a lot of weight. They remain there in that position as they dirty boxing each other for the rest of the round. And that is your end of your fight right there. Yeah, I think Andrei Siminoff did enough to win that round and won the fight. See what the judges say. Yeah, they gave it to him as unanimous decision. Yeah, that was a good fight, though. I figured that was going to be a lot closer than the betting lines had it. I mean, minus 530, plus 420. I felt that was a little disrespectful to Flavio Luis Moura, who has lost now 3 straight, but they've been 3 great opponents, I think. Andrei Siminoff, I think, is a hell of a fighter. Keith Jardine, hell of a fighter. Damian Maia, hell of a fighter as well. We might have to give him a tomato can to crush to get his momentum back. As our next, we give a post-fight interview, is the giving thanks to the Praises team at Team Avistian, its various sponsors, and the fans who came out supporting. Showing respect, Siminoff praises Moura for his skill and toughness. So now, on our next fight, as it's a middleweight contest. Lee Lightning Murray taking on Nate the Great Marcotte, 6'6", both 205, 26-28. It's kind of crazy how young our fighters are. We're now seeing really a lot of these guys in their prime coming together. London, England, Denver, Colorado, 12-1, 15-5. Kickboxing martial artists is Nate the Great Marcotte. The Pit, AMC Pancreas team, close on the betting lines, minus 180, plus 140. It's really going to come down to if Lee Murray can, what he can do on the ground. Here, as our referee is Yuji Shimada, our judges at ringside. Here we go. Murray comes in with the attack. There's a counter left, but doesn't connect as Marcotte. Fails for a feint and is left vulnerable for the attack. There's a 1-2, but Marcotte was equal to it. They stand and trade, but all the shots are either off target or safely dealt with. Comes forward, willing to risk a few shots as long as he gets close enough to wrestle. He fails to find home his jab, but he catches Marcotte with a stunning right hook, and he knocks him down with that one. Marcotte hits the mat. That shot has rocked him. Pounds away, looking to finish off the fight. There's several big shots now, but he stays in it. He's inside, controls Lee Murray, throws a couple of punches down to keep Marcotte guessing. He fires off a few punches that aren't throwing any great force, as now he's, again, fires off a few punches that aren't throwing any great force. I can't believe Marcotte cannot do anything on the ground. Lee Murray is a fucking problem, ladies and gentlemen. As fires away with punches, does little in the way of damage. Tries to move the guard, but Murray doesn't allow it. Their lack of progress, they stand him back up. Which that's going to be, again, in favor of Lee Murray. Throws a two-punch combo, but Marcotte avoids both of them. Seizing that opportunity, Marcotte clinches. Marcotte trying to push Murray so his back is against the ropes. He doesn't manage it, though, as Murray defended it well. Tries a knee strike, but it gets blocked. He's trying to muscle Murray up against the ropes. He can't manage it, though, as Murray fought it off. Marcotte catches Murray with a knee strike to the body. There's another, as he's trying to just wrestle him up against the ropes. Ends up with his back to the ropes. Marcotte looking to sweep the leg. He does so. What a great outside leg trip. sweeps him down, and now he's left on his back under side control. Throws a few right hands to the body. This is Marcotte trying to transition, and there's a knee strike to the ribs. Looking for Kimura, he gets it. Wow, Nate Marcotte with a Kimura, and Lee Murray has to tap out. Tough one for Lee Murray. He got the knockdown, he just couldn't finish the fight. Nate Marcotte taking it to the ground after that takedown, and he gets the Kimura win in 6 minutes. About said 16-14 in 6 minutes and 14 seconds. What a good fight! Hell of a fight. As 15-5, 12-1 for that one. As 16-5 rather, 12-2 would be Lee Murray and Nate Marcotte. As giving thanks, Marcotte praised his team at AMC Bangor. Is very responsive to the fans who game and support him. He is asked who he'd like to face next, and he implies that he has a lot of respect for Vitor Belfort and says that he thinks that that'd be a great fight. Yeah, that would be a great fight. As the Superman, Dennis Alman, taking on Matt the Terror Sarah, 27-6, 9-4. Just Dennis Alman's records are just nuts. As this man, he's beaten a good bit of people in his day. As old Dennis Alman, he's beaten Tetsuji Kato, now welterweight champion. He's beaten George St. Pierre. But the one people, and he's lost to Matt Hughes, but he beat him way back when. He's beaten Alan Goes. He's beaten... the one guy he has not beaten, though, is Carlos Newton. He's 0-2 against Carlos Newton. But here with Matt Serra, he's 9-4. He's plus 380. He's beaten Sean Shurg. He's beaten Pat Miller. He's actually beaten Andrei Simonov, which is wild. He beat him back in rings. But I think this is going to be his time. And he's lost to Diego Sanchez. But if there's going to be someone to beat Dennis Hallman, I feel like Matt Terracera has a skill set to do it. He is well-versed in the ground and the grappling game. East Meadow, New York. Yale, Washington. Again, two men completely different sides of the U.S. there. Battling it out here at Shockwave 2005. The Pit, Henzo Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. It's going to be a tough one. It's definitely going to be ground-based. This might go the distance. We'll see. Mario Amasaki's our referee. Ringside judges. Fight begins. They touch gloves. They come forward, and the two fighters exchange strikes. There's a counter left, but doesn't connect it. Misses all the strikes in the combo. They end with a low kick to the legs. Both fighters step in to strike. As Sarah misses the right cross, leaves him wide open for the counter. Hallman attacks with a quick left jab and a superb head kick, and then there's a knockdown. Jeez, what a card this has been. As Matt Sarah gets knocked down within the first minute, moves in quickly beside him. The Superman Dennis Hallman starts hammering down on punches, pounds away, but Sarah's in trouble with the strike zone, looking to get mount. He almost gets it, but Sarah was ready for it, and the scramble begins. As he ends up having to pull guard, losing out in the scramble as Matt Sarah fires off a handful of punches, each easily being blocked with gloves, as he gets past Sarah, but he stops him in half guard. Does Matt Sarah. He throws a few right hands to the body, keeps him guessing with a few quick strikes. Attempts to pass half guard and gain better position. He keeps him in half guard, though. There's a few strikes to keep him guessing. In half guard now, Hallman throws a couple of punches aside to keep him guessing. As they stand him back up, come together and strike. Misses the right hook and leaves himself wide open to be countered with a solid right hand from Matt Sarah. It's forced exchange of strikes. He misses the left hand in exchange. A successful feint leaves Sarah vulnerable. And there's a left hand and he scores with a right crossed. As there's a left hand in exchange that misses. Can't connect the step strikes. Scores the leg kick. As he misses the right cross, leaves himself wide open for a counter with a left jab and a leg kick that narrowly misses the target. Moves in exchange. Hallman feints and attacks, leaves Sarah slightly off balance. Sarah misses the right cross, leaves him over for the counter. There's a jab and a right head kick that doesn't connect though. As they come together and trade leather, neither fighter really does any damage. They meet in the center. So misses the right cross, leaves him over the counter. Dennis Hallman comes in with a solid right hand. Exchange of blows comes and goes without really either fighter landing significant. They exchange the strikes, does not produce any damage. Two fighters engage. They engage with strikes, but neither fighter really lands anything significant. As again, he tries the right hand, but it gets absorbed on his opponent's gloves. Sarah misses the right hand, and Hallman slips past it. 60 seconds left in the first round. They see both fighters fail to land anything significant. They moves forward, constantly trying to pressure Sarah into exchanging strikes. There's a counter jab. There's a 1-2, but Sarah was equal to it. They exchange strikes. Misses the right cross, leaves him over for the counter. Hallman attacks with a couple of jabs, are followed by a low kick. That's the end of the first round. Yeah, I mean, Dennis Hallman won the round thanks to the knockdown. But I'm surprised at how low of the fight has gone to the ground. I mean, there's only that few quick stints when the knockdown happened. Other than that, this has all been standing. Really a hell of a first round. Let's see what happens in the second round. They engage. Hallman's off target with a left jab. Also misses the head kick attempt. He finds his right cross block. They come together and strike. He uses the left jab, but doesn't get a leg kick. Sarah uses the left jab, but has his right hand taken on the gloves. The two combatants meet in the center. They start to strike. Misses a right hook that gets countered with a quick left jab and a left kick to the ribs. They come together and strike. Misses the big right hand, putting him off balance, allowing Holman to attack with a left jab and a low kick that can't connect. As they move in and engage, misses the right hook, leaves himself wide open for the counter. There's a quick left jab and a right hook that is avoided at the last second. As Sarah misses the left jab, lands the right hook, lands a left jab, and hits the left hook to the body of Dennis Allman. They meet in the center. Both fighters throw, but neither can land a shot. As he's off target with a jab and also can't make contact on that right head kick. He only landed that one head kick, which granted knocked him down, but if he can land another one, that could probably be it for Matt Sarah. Doesn't connect with the right hand thanks to the great head movement of Dennis Allman. Second half of the second round now. Exchange of strikes sees both fighters fail anything significant. He's now starting to slow down just a touch. Moving is Matt Sarah. They engage in the center. Holman feats one way, then the other, throwing Sarah off balance, leaving him badly exposed. Can't connect with, counters with the right hand. Counters the right hand with a jab, rather. There's a low kick that doesn't connect. For the first time now, Dennis Holman's starting to breathe a little heavier. They move together. They come together and strike. As there's a big exchange of fire, but neither fighter really lands anything. And he's off target with a jab. Also doesn't make a contact on a low kick. So he misses the right hand. Minute left. They engage in the center. He's well off target with a head kick. Has a right hook blocked. Both fighters come together and engage. There's a right cross that leaves him over for the counter as Holman attacks a nice left hand. 14 seconds now. There's exchange strikes relatively close range. Nothing happens to end out the fight. As, Superman and Holman wins that one unanimous decision. As Fairfox to Matt Sarah not getting knocked out by that head kick as he's now 9-5. 28-6 now for Dennis Holman as he's probably going to take on Tatsuchi Kato next. As Dennis Holman thanks everyone connected to the pit for having prepared for the fight, and his sponsors supporting him financially. As he's then asked who he'd like to face next, he answers that Matt Hughes would be someone he'd like to compete against. Yeah, that would be. But I mean, they do deserve the rubber match. Maybe that would be next for Dennis Holman and Matt Hughes. As co-main event now, lightweight title fight. Wander the Crusher Baraga taking on the Prodigy BJ Penn, 20-5, 13-0. Both Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys. Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, the Pit, minus 670, plus 530. This is going to be a tough one for Wander Baraga in his debut. We'll see what he can do against the Prodigy BJ Penn. As Yuji Shimada is the referee, our judges, round one begins. Moving around, Baraga's looking for an opening in the grapple without getting hit, coming in. He carrying it with a 7 strikes, and he lands the big right hand. There's a left jab and a nice straight right hand. A tentative jab from Baraga lands. Another jab and another straight right hand that lands hard from BJ Penn. May have been able to get in close, but BJ Penn aggressively took the initiative. There's a left jab. Avoids the big right hand. Throws a punch, but Baraga was equal to it. Avoids it rather, not equal to it. As seizing the opportunity, Baraga looks to clinch, looking for the takedown. Doesn't get it though, and now he wrestles his way into taking control of the grapple, does BJ Penn. Looking to take him down, he doesn't get it either. And again, Baraga this time takes control. Both these men are just blocking and taking control of the grapple. Will someone get a takedown? We'll see. There we go. They finally get an inside leg trip as Baraga gets thrown in the mat and BJ Penn's left in guard. As he clings very tightly to Baraga while using short strikes, clearly just trying to minimize the threat of a submission. He's trying to break free and scramble, but BJ Penn keeps him trapped there. Aware of the submission again, keeps very tight to Baraga, peppering on short strikes. Looking for an armbar for the bottom. BJ Penn blocks it. Aware of the submission threat again. BJ Penn keeps very tight to Baraga, peppering with short strikes. Trying to smother BJ Penn by holding him, but he can't keep control of him. Again, just keeping him very tight. A couple of punches there. Halfway point, BJ Penn trying to pass the guard. He was ready for it, that was Baraga, and then starts to scramble. Ends up pulling half guard, losing out in the scramble. Baraga tries to pass guard. As they, again, loses control, which ends up with BJ Penn in half guard. Throws a few weak-looking punches, decides his next move, trying to get some separation. As looking for the scramble. Wasn't enough to secure it, though, as BJ Penn is able to catch him and secure side control. Few punches they're thrown without any great force. Blocks Baraga's chance to transition to guard. Keeps Baraga guessing with a few quick strikes. Tries to move to guard, but BJ Penn doesn't allow it. Fires off a few punches, but they aren't thrown with any great force. Blocks Baraga as he tries to transition to guard. Throws a few right hands to the body. Blocks the tentacle guard. Throws some small strikes, but it's clearly just taking a moment to catch his breath. Penn blocks Baraga as he tries to transition to guard. With no progress being made, the referee stands him back up to end out the first round. Yeah, that is a close one, but you look at the fight metrics, it was BJ Penn with those ground strikes once he got control towards the end of the round. But there for the first probably 4 or 5 minutes, halfway of that first round, it was very, very close. As now, to our second round. It wasn't the most exciting one. We'll see if it picks up. Last round, Braga looked like he was trying to step in and grapple, but Penn took the initiative. There's a left hand and a right hand. Sithering leg kick after the combination of connecting with a nice jab. As it takes a few gulps of breath, looks like BJ Penn's starting to give the first hint that he's starting to tie. Another left jab and a nice straight right hand that lands hard. Has smashed up his nose from that below. There's blood dripping down. Jeez, Braga probably broke his nose on that one. That's going to really affect the breathing in the second round. There's a left hand from BJ Penn. Then he catches Braga with a right hook. Another nice jab and a beauty of a straight right. I mean, he just is getting fucked up as Wanda Braga here. Moving around, Braga's looking for that opening to grapple. Can't connect with a set of strikes. There's a big right hand. There's a crunching right hook now. As, I mean, he is just now clearly respecting his opponent's striking. He's very wary about getting close enough to grapple. There's another nice straight right hand that lands hard. Getting to the deep, deep breaths now that BJ Penn is starting to get into the deeper ranges of his gas tank. Halfway point in the second round. There's a right cross. Moves in closer, looking up to attack. As he looked like he was going to step it and grapple, but again, BJ Penn took the initiative. A jab at home. Then there's a nice straight right hand. I can't believe he hasn't even been knocked down at this point. He's just been getting fucked up by these strikes. As there's a big right hand. Now he's probably even just broke his own hand just trying to fuck up Wanda Braga so much. As this is unbelievable. Just there's could be some major problems when it comes to striking now. As there's a few 1-2 punch combo, but Braga avoids both of them. Now he's just looking blown up at this point. Braga takes his chances, grabs him into a clinch. Looking to sweep him. He gets that leg sweep, so now BJ Penn's down the mat. He gives up his back. Look for the body triangle. Can he not? Is he gonna? Oh my god, he did it! He gets flattened out by the rear naked choke, but he's saved by the fucking bell, though. Oh my god, Wanda Braga just about become the lightweight champion of the world in Pride FC. That was unbelievable. This man took shot after shot after fucking shot of that second round. Finally got his moment. Clenched him, got into the takedown, had that rear naked choke. But it was saved by the bell, was BJ Penn. Unbelievable. He's going to win. But that was nuts. We'll have to see that again down in the future. It was rated decent, because probably that first round was pretty boring. But that second round was nuts. What a finish. So now we got our main event. As, again, I always forget we have this post-fight interviews. As BJ Penn thanks everyone connected to the pit, grabbing over for the fight, and his sponsors for supporting him financially. Celebrates his Pride lightweight title defense, and he poses for the photographers with a belt around his waist. It's now our main event. Big Nog, Antonio Minotauro Rodrigo Nogueira taking on the axe murderer Vanderlei Silva. As 19-2, 18-4, both from Brazil, Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, Muay Thai, both with no team, weirdly enough. Minus 290 plus 230, as 5'11", 220. 6'3", 235, so Big Nog's going to be bigger. He's going to have the 15-pound advantage, which really isn't an advantage, but maybe it'll come to fruition. Both 29 years old. For the Pride Heavyweight title, Yuji Shimada's our referee, our judges. Fight begins, they touch gloves. They're Silva forcing exchange of strikes. Nogueira hits a counter left hand, a combo that ends with a leg kick to the legs, fails to land. Exchange of strikes does not go anywhere. They exchange in the center. There's a left jab, but can't connect with a spin kick. As Nogueira manages to connect with 2 punches out of a flurry, but can't connect with the right head kick. Looking confident, shortening the range, is looking to strike. Looks like we're about to see Nogueira try and get some grappling started, but Silva took the initiative, as there's a punch from Silva that fails to land, comes forward with the attack. Nogueira lands a left hand, 1-2, but Nogueira avoids both of them. Both fighters move in, there's a left hand, there's a left jab, and a good right hand, and that big strike, as he has been rocked, is Vanderlei Silva. And now he's looking to slap in a guillotine real quick as he's trying to take him down, but that is Silva works a hand in and pulls free before the guillotine can be fully sunk. That was nuts. Seeing someone get rocked and just going for the guillotine right out of the gate as Silva sends a few right hands to the body. There's a few punches. Starts working to try to get past guard. It confidently blocks the attempt to keep Silva in guard. Looking to secure an arm now from the bottom. Silva blocks it. Fires off a handful of punches, each easily being blocked with gloves. Trying to sweep him, he can't do it. Yuji Shimada stands him back up, halfway point. Exchange of strikes doesn't go anywhere. Exchange of blows comes and goes. Either fighter really lands anything significant. Both fighters come together to strike. Misses the right hook. It's kind of a nice left hand. Both fighters move and engage. Slips past the right hook attempt and attacks the left jab and a right cross that just misses. 2 fighters come in and engage. Slips past the right hook. Counters the left jab and a right hook. They come together and strike. Misses the big right hand, allowing Nogueira to get countered with a jab and a right hook that is just ducked. Comes forward, walking down Nogueira. Nogueira fires off a counter jab. There's a 1-2, but Nogueira was equal to it. They engage. Dodges the right hand, counter attacks with a jab and a right roundhouse kick to the body that does not connect. As they come together and trade leather, but doesn't do any damage. Exchanges strikes, but nothing really gets through. They come together and strike. There's a right head kick that doesn't make contact. Slips past the right hand, but it doesn't find the mark. Throws his shoulders to relax him, this big knock, as he moves forward with about a minute left in this first round. Misses the right hook, leaves himself open to be countered with a jab and a good right hand. As he moves, and as he doesn't connect with the jab, he scores with a spin kick to the ribs, though, from Vanderlei Silva. Finds a way to pass his opponent's guard. Lands a sharp 1-2. They engage. Nogueira lands a left jab, but also connects cleanly with his right hand. There's a jab and a right hook from Silva to end out that first round. As, Big Nog won it thanks to basically rocking him and taking him for the submission with the guillotine. But it is still very close. Vanderlei could get a knockdown. He could even, have dominant second round and maybe could even sway to where it's a split. But he's going to have to do something he's going to have to have a dominant second round here if he wants to win this title fight, as that's the bell. Two guys meet in the center, and they start to strike. Doesn't connect with the right hand. Thanks to the great head movements from Silva, there's a 3-punch combination, but Nogueira maintains a superb guard and safe from that, as he doesn't find the mark with his right hook. Can't hit the right cross. Moves forward, constantly trying to pressure Nogueira into exchanging strikes. Scores with 2 left jabs. Lands a left jab, but doesn't hit the leg kick that follows up. For the first time now, Vanderlei starting to breathe a little heavier. They come together and strike. Silva bobs and weaves, making 2 punches miss. Silva doesn't find the mark with the right hook. Both fighters move in the center. Dodges the right hand and counterattacks with a kick to the thigh area now. Silva is notable, is not about to compete with Nogueira in a striking battle. He's getting badly outstruck, which is wild to say from Vanderlei Silva, as he has a puncher's chance, though. Of course, anyone with that much power with his hands always does. Silva comes forward, and the 2 fighters start trading blows. The scores with 2 counter jabs. A combo that ends with a head kick attempt fails to land for Silva. They meet, and Nogueira counters the right hand with a quick left jab and a right hook that is voided at the last possible second. As moving forward, constantly trying to pressure Nogueira into exchanging strikes. There's a left hand exchange, a 1-2, but Nogueira was equal to it. Halfway point in the second round, the exchange of blows comes and goes without anything significant landing. Now he's in the pocket. Some strikes, and a right head kick, but Nogueira avoided all of them. That is nuts. Comes forward and attack. There's 2 left hands on the counter. 1-2 from Silva fails to land. They stand and trade in the center of the ring, but neither fighter can really take or give. There's about a minute left down. They engage. There's a left jab that comes forward on a short body kick. Silva lands a nice right hook. They step in. Misses the right hook and gets kind of the left jab and a head kick attempt that doesn't connect. The 2 fighters engage with strikes, and neither lands anything worthwhile. That is your fight, and your winner will be Big Nog. Unanimous decision. That's fair fucks to Big Nog. The fight was decent. Wish it would have been a little bit better, but the man was just a problem standing on the counter. It just was nuts the whole way. Poor Vanderlei Silva loses again. He's going to be 18-5. Big Nog now 20-2. Now we're going to have to wait to see who Big Nog's going to face next. We're going to give him some time off. He's had quite the hectic schedule. As of late, he has fought, he fought 4 times last year. He's fought now 3 times this year. I think it's time to pump the brakes and let him, relax and have some fun. And, he earned it. He has definitely earned it. He has beaten some of the top heavyweight guys, and now we're going to see who he'll fight next with that Grand Prix that's going to come up. As, what a card, though, that was. A Big Nog. Thanks, everyone. Thanks to sponsors for backing him, and also thanks to family, fans, and supporters. The Pride heavyweight title defense opposed for the photographers as the belt around his waist. Rated 63, could have been a little bit better, but that's alright. Still, BJ Penn won the Braga. That fight, that last minute was nuts. Dennis Hallman, Matt Serra, just couldn't believe he knocked him down. Probably would have got the knockout, probably wasn't rated better, but that's alright. The Nate Marcotte, Lee Murray, and the Andrei Semenov flop. I thought the main card was very, very good. I enjoyed it. As we increased the pop everywhere, that's good. There we go. As thank you all for watching. So we'll catch you guys now for a new year. It's 2006. As, my God, cannot believe we have just been flying by so far. It's been nuts. But now it is time to see what happens in the year 2006. Probably one of the last years of normality. As in 2007, there's going to be some drastic changes happening. As it's, we're going into uncharted territories once we get into 2007. As our fight of the year was Frank Shamrock. And yeah, I mean, he beat Dan Anderson, beat Ice Cold Igor, is now the middleweight champion of the world. Wow, UFC won. Company of the Year, that's tough. As female fight of the year was Satoka Shinyashi. As a fight of the year was a Smack Girl fight. That's awesome. Knockout of the year was looks like an MFC show. Show of the year was UFC 74, Paul vs. Stevenson 2. Yeah. Submission of the year, another Smack Girl submission of the year. Rookie of the year was Makoto Takamoto. As main event of the year was a KSW main event. Wow. As team of the year was probably, oh wow, Habiani Combat Play. I thought it was going to be the Pit. Upset of the year was John Dodson's upset at having a Shudo. Worst fight of the year was a Pancrase, which Pancrase has won like fucking all those. So yeah, KSW is definitely coming together. They're adding a welterweight and lightweight. Looks like Pancrase is adding a featherweight. Jungle Fight's adding a lightweight. Looks like there's a lot of changes in the world. Also, Strikeforce is happening. So that's fun. Looks like M1's losing a lot of people. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, though, that's happening and going on. Rafael Calavante. That might be someone we might bring in. A lot of different things going on. So thank you all. And we will catch you guys next time for Pride 31's Unbreakable.